われ時だ。
お前に会いに来たんだ。大変だったよ。お前すげえ遠くにいるから。
Oh. But wait. The camera.
Oh, shoot.
The
Yeah.
phone.
Sorry.
The phones, yeah.
We're not ready yet, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, are we good to go?
Yeah, dude. Let's go.
All right. Now we got everything all settled down. What's up, everybody? My name is Nate. Welcome, everybody, to another new episode of the Anination Podcast. Omid is here on my right.
What is up, Anination crew? How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a good summer, and I hope that y'all are, staying hydrated, stay cool, because it's still quite a heat.
It's just because you're hot. We're hot right now because today I don't know what, but this week has been heating up recently.
Oh yeah.
And it's not just it is not just on cartoons and stuff, but it's mostly literally hot right now. It is summertime after all, so we gotta be dealing with this right now, currently.
Yeah. It ranges from high 80s to low 100s. Like, in other words, there are times where it has gone triple digits.
Yeah. Thankfully, it hasn't yet. No, it has recently. I don't know. Either way, the weather has been hot for all of us. But then again, summer's about to end soon. We have one more month ahead. August is coming up real soon. So there's that.
Yeah. So enjoy. For those who are going to school, enjoy that summer break, like 1 month of summer break before you go to school.
Yeah. Do you remember like going back to going back to school like earlier than like summertime? Oh, sorry, like earlier than September, because I remember some folks actually go to school like in mid-August or something.
I remember going to school sometimes in mid-August, other times early September.
Yeah, I remember going in early September. That was the good part. But then when college hits, that's when I actually started going like in the mid-August times. Mm-hmm. But do you remember like all the sales that you got in school? Like, do you remember all the sales that are in stores and stuff where you buy all the notebooks and folders that you need for school?
Oh yeah, dude. The school shopping can get pretty hectic.
I know. Well, it's not really that hectic because like it's really cheap stuff that you can buy. Oh, you can buy 25-cent notebooks and folders for your school, but there's some folks that really want like the 5-star notebooks to say. I remember being a fan of those. They held like all my stuff pretty easily. So yeah. But yeah, thankfully we're not in school anymore. We've already graduated from our colleges to say, and so far we're doing podcasts now, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah. And you guys haven't noticed that we have 2 new books in front of us. These have just recently came out. We want to give the Loud House Spooky Special and the Book of Bill.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean we're all Gravity Falls fans, Loud House fans. So if you haven't picked up your pair, you should probably do so. We have already picked up ours.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I mean, have you already read like most of Spooky Special?
Oh yes, indeed I have, and. For a Halloween-themed graphic novel, this definitely came at a time when we were in the mood for some spooky stories. You know how, like, when you're at camp and then you come around the bonfire, then you tell spooky stories. This felt exactly like that.
I mean, this is just pretty much like spooky stories that, some artists just drew. I mean, you have Casagrande stuff here. You have Louds. You have the Louds literally dressing up as vampires, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I also do want to give a shout out to our person who actually made the logo for the Animation Podcast, Ruhisu Art.
Yes.
Because his comic is actually here in this book right now. I'm trying to find it right now, by the way.
Yes, and if you guys don't know who Ruhisu Art is, Ruhisu Art is a Loud House fan artist who's done some incredible art. And as you can see here in this comic called Giant Appetite.
This Giant Appetite is more of Lily just like feeding down, like pretending to feed down on like villagers, be a monster and stuff. But I see the artwork. I can see the style that Ruhi has done. And it's right there. If you haven't got this book, please do, because he deserves this. He deserves this praise. By the way, he finally made it to a comic book. So, Ruhisu Art, thank you for making our logo and also being a part of an art book for the Loud House. So, we shout us for that.
We celebrate your victory, man. Enjoy that W.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on bookstores, Barnes and Noble stuff. So yeah, check out Spooky Special. Yeah, this is kind of like a self promotion from us from the Animation Podcast. Please pick up your copy.
Yeah, I'm proud to have a copy of my own in my bookshelf.
And then last but not least, give me that book right there. I know that's cursed book, but you wait, you can't handle it because you don't have your copy yet.
I don't have my copy yet, but needless to say,
Book of Bill.
He has the Book of Bill. My copy is coming 2 days from now.
Yeah.
And yeah, from what I've read a little bit of his copy, I can tell I'm in for a wild read.
So the Book of Bill, I mean, have you seen the promotions on how like Alex Hirsch was promoting the Book of Bill?
Yeah, you told me about how Disney Plus is promoting it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys been watching Disney Plus, like anything on Disney Plus recently, but if you haven't looked closely, there have been signs of Bill everywhere on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, Bill.
So apparently he appeared up in the Snow White movie. He appeared in an episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. It was kind of freaky, but there were some folks that literally were just going through Disney Plus and saw the signs of Bill everywhere. Even like I think Toy Story 4, they had like a toy of Bill right there. So yeah, it's quite interesting how Alex was actually able to promote Book of Bill, but I don't know. I mean, it's kind of freaky. And besides the whole Disney Plus thing, I don't know if you saw it recently, but there was like a post where there was like something like blackballing like all the other books, while Book of Bill is like literally the one being featured. So he redecorated the whole, like that whole section was redecorated to mostly feature Book of Bill, and I'm like, I don't know what is happening, but I just know this is all of Alex Hirsch's doing. There's just so much good promotion when it comes to this book, and
Bill may be turned to statue, but Bill still lives on.
It's either way. Like you may think Bill is gone, but read the book. Just read the book. Read the book. I ain't gonna spoil anything. Read the book.
Bill is quite a unpredictable character. He works in mysterious ways.
Yeah,
causes chaos in mysterious ways.
I gotta say this, Alex Hirsch, you've done a really good job promoting it. I mean, you even have the Oregon State, what is it, Parks Department? Sorry, the Oregon Parks State Department or something like that actually do some promotions about the book too, because they're from Oregon. That's one thing. But then, have you seen like the videos that they put up for that Twitter account was cursed as hell.
Spooky.
Yeah. So you have to check it out when you actually go to their Twitter, man. Come on. Yeah, this has been an interesting book, but yes, please check out Book of Bill. It's in your local bookstores everywhere. So there's that. I guess because Omin hasn't read it yet. So
yeah, I kind of want to. I read just one page of it. Like I said, I already was like, I'm gonna be in for a while. Aren't I?
Also be aware of like all the hidden eggs that are in there too. There are some TV show references that are in the book, by the way.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm gonna be on the lookout for the amphibian one.
Just buy them. Yeah, there is one. There is one. There is one. I ain't gonna say much. I'm looking at it right now.
I can already tell it's gonna be amphibian one because they already did an amphibian Gravity Falls crossover.
They did. So I'm assuming Alex Hirsch is like in the loop with the amphibia thing. So it's like, yeah, we need to incorporate it in a future book and stuff. Yeah. So there's that. All right, but yeah, let's catch up. Omid, how's your week been?
Yes, my week has been. My week has been fun ever since because we've been celebrating my mom's birthday. It was quite a birthday marathon, a birthday weekend from Thursday all the way up to Sunday because my brother came over to visit us.
Yeah, he came from Las Vegas to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I would imagine it being a whole lot better knowing that it's hella hot over there in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely something he needed to cool down, coming here and all that. So on Thursday night, I treated my mom out to dinner. We went to Texas Roadhouse, had some good steak and all that. It was really fun. And then on Friday, me, my mom, my brother, my mom's boyfriend's, my daughter, my mom's boyfriend's wife, and my mom's boyfriend. We all went to a P.F. Chang's, had some Chinese food.
How good is the P.F. Chang's food?
The P.F. Chang's food is decent, but the service, not so much. The service was
this is why I don't like P.F. Chang's that much anymore. I don't know why P.F. Chang's exists. They're not even like legit Chinese food.
It is. They are better than Panda Express, though.
Okay, yeah, you got a fair point there, but still, they're both bad. They're both bad. Okay.
You gotta just be lesser two evils.
Can you just go to Can you go to an official Chinese restaurant and eat Chinese food there? There you go. You're not gonna get like poisoning there. Well, actually, no. It's the poisoning the best part.
It wasn't even my choice. If it was my choice, then yeah, I would have gone to something more authentic. Man.
Yeah, maybe some Korean barbecue. I know you always go Korean barbecue for your birthday.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for personal experience, I know, man. And by the way, so after PF Chang's, we went to Rooster T comedy. We saw some really funny comedians performing. And then on Saturday, my mom's bestie, my mom's best friend, threw a birthday party for my mom at her place. And so me, my mom, and my brother went to visit her. And then we pretty much just partied up with my mom's, work friends. And so that was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, me, my mom, my brother, and my mom's sister, who is visiting from Canada, we went to Santana Row, had some Cheesecake Factory, and then we went to have some, and then we had to have this one ice cream.
Oh, is it salt and straw? Is it good? It's good, right? It's good.
Yeah,
salt and straw
I
ice
went for
cream.
the gooey brownie one. The gooey brownie's my
yeah, it's
favorite
really
one.
good. No, there's a lot of good flavors. They also change seasonally too, so you want to come there often. If you ever go to Salt and Straw, check it out. There's one in Westfield too. So
I mean, I don't go to Santana Row that often, but yeah, I will keep a lookout on that.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Salt and Straw, really good ice cream. I don't know if it's like everywhere, but it's really good ice cream, no matter what. So last weekend was kind of unmemorable. I literally just was at home the whole weekend. But I do want to talk about July 4th weekend because I wasn't able to talk about it since we were mostly reviewing a Loud House movie. So I do want to talk about July 4th weekend where I literally picked up a car. I picked up my car, like from the airport, and I drove all the way myself down from here all the way down to Los Angeles, here in the Bay Area, all the way down to LA. It was a long drive if I didn't take the side roads. I kind of did it myself because I really wanted to check out other things besides the 5. Because look, when you take a road trip all the way down to LA, you always take the 5 down, right?
I don't really drive to LA, but I've gone to
Well,
LA
you should go before with your
but-
friend. You said you and your friend went to Universal together.
Yeah, my friend and I went to Universal together, and yeah, it was definitely quite a fun time. But I forget which road that we took, but it was definitely a road that went smoothly.
You didn't see anything anywhere. It was just mostly grasslands and stuff.
It was mostly gas stations, and it was I think
It's mostly fields, right?
mostly fields.
Yeah, it's Highway 5, dude. If you go to 101, you'll hit up cities. If you go to 99, you'll hit up a lot of cities. But if you go to Highway 5, there's nothing. All you see is just truck stops, pit stops, and rest stops.
Life is a highway.
I know, but I like it better if I actually see like some things on the side. So that's why I took a side road to go to Highway 5 because I was actually making a lot of time. Like I left around 10 in the morning and I was going to arrive at LA around 4. And I'm like, okay, it's cool. The game doesn't start till 7, so I'll have time. Actually, that turned out to be a big mistake.
Oh.
So what
Tell us
happened
more.
was I arrived at LA around 5 or 6, and I didn't know about this, but there were so many people going to Dodger Stadium. Yeah.
Really?
By the way, I did go to Dodger Stadium. There was some sort of thing called a Hololive night that was happening. I was there to celebrate my Oshi Gura being there. So Gura was there. She was singing the 7th inning stretch. She helped the Dodgers win, by the way. So congrats to the Dodgers winning. But holy shit. Oh my God, Hololive fans, you're crazy as hell. Like, all of you Hololive fans, I know that your favorite Oshi's there, Gura, Suisei, or Pecora, but there were so many fans there. There were so many fans, not even like Dodgers fans. There was just mostly Hololive fans. And
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
doesn't
what?
surprise me because the Hololive fandom can be massive.
No, I just didn't expect it to be so big. I was thinking like they're all gonna go to AX. They're all just gonna be staying at AX, being weebs, just going to go to AX. They don't know about baseball. I was thinking like they don't know baseball and stuff, but no, they all came in because literally the line for the merchandise was freaking all over the place. So here, I'll imagine this. Imagine this being like the merch line, and then I'll just gonna scale it around. So the whole stadium is like right here. This is like center field. And then imagine the line going to third base, and then going backwards, and then going around to first base.
That is just line con. It's line con.
Yeah, they took out line con from AX and put it into Dodger Stadium, I guess.
Oh, man.
It's so bad, yeah. So, Dodger game, I have to say we didn't watch the whole entire thing because it was so crowded. We were there to watch from like the 3rd inning all the way to the last inning. Dodgers won, and we also did.
Boo.
Why you always keep saying boo? Come
Boo.
on. Look, Giants suck right now. Okay, so.
I don't care. Boo. Go ahead.
Yeah. Either way, we went to it. That was cool. Dodgers game was fun. Hanging out with a friend. Jay went to AX, and I actually met Mudan for the first time, which is pretty sick. Saturday was eventful. I went to Frankensons over in LA. It was pretty cool. Bought some stuff, which just kind of makes me reflect on AX now. I did buy that Mochi the Rock box, by the way, of Weiss Schwartz.
Nice. Yeah. Yes, let's go.
So there's that. I also ddid go to Animate, where, oh my God, my wallet was about to cry because I was about to buy everything there.
Yo, your wall must be a tear.
Yeah,
man.
I saw like, was it a Haikyuu, like anime fans, you probably know this, Haikyuu section, like a My Hero Academia section, Attack on Titan section, like all the animes that you know. And there's an Oshi no Ko section, by the way. So
Yes, let's go.
yeah, and there's also Apothecary Diaries, Hololive, Nichisanji, like all those like things in anime that like it sucks that's in torrents because it's like an hour away from LA, but oh my God, I want to go back there again. It reminds me of the Japan store that we went to.
Yeah. We did go to that Japan store in Little Tokyo. Yeah.
No, I was talking about Japan. We were literally in Japan. There's an
that Japan.
There are animates
Akihabara.
Yeah, there are animates in Japan, dude.
Yeah, we went. It reminds you of Akihabara, right?
Well, no, not Akihabara. Well, yeah, we did go to anime in Akihabara, but there's another anime that's like in a different section of Tokyo that actually was a bigger, better animate. I remember. I don't know if you were in that because I know that's where the Evangelion store was. So.
Oh yeah, I think we may have visited there.
I know me and Thomas went to the Evangelion store, but that was mostly it. But in Animate, I did mostly buy stuff and mostly presents.
Oh, yes.
So I bought some stuff for a couple of friends from the squad, and also bought you a present, by the way.
Yes!
So, yeah. So I'm going to reveal it to you right now. I did say Oshinoko, what's your favorite anime? Well, Oshinoko was there. Yeah, I did message you, who's your favorite character in the show.
Kanarima.
Yeah, Kanarima. And here is the keychain of Kanarima, by the way.
Yes! Thank you.
Yeah, so...
Oh, she looks so kawaii. Nice,
so that's
thanks.
actually what I bought there, so yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, check it out. Just let me see actually before I actually give it all away. Yeah, it's kind of I guess everyone's favorite. Well, your favorite, by the way. So.
Yes. Well, I mean, like there was this one girl in Oshinoko season 2 who might have surpassed her, named Abiko. It's kind of a toss up between the two at the moment, but yes, I am definitely appreciative of this gift. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So if anything, I just mostly give gifts at Animate. Drove down to Irvine, hanged out with a friend, and then the next day was the worst day of all, actually, driving back from LA to the Bay Area.
Oh, dude.
Well, it was bad because, first off, it's July 4th traffic, so you expect a lot of people driving back home. But in sweltering weather, like 110, 115 degree weather.
Dude,
in California was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Dude, triple degree weather,
so
man. That's rough.
I literally had to stop a lot because I was getting dehydrated. I had water with me, but like I got dehydrated so fast. Like I had to go to a gas station, not to get water, but just to rest. I went to a rest stop literally like miles later just to rest up again and go to the bathroom and even like, get some liquid IV in order for me to actually like go through the trip. But thankfully, the liquid IV helped me out because I was able to drive the rest of the way back home. But 115 degree weather driving in a road trip, that was a terrible idea. I was like, I didn't expect it to be that hot, to be fair.
Yeah, dude, it's just I can't imagine how it must have been hot and sweaty for you, man. It's just hope you stay as cool and hydrated as possible.
I was thankful that my car didn't break down because I was hearing some noises too when I was driving, and I was like, I really hope that car doesn't break down or I'm fucked.
That's scary stuff, dude.
Yeah, it's like I really hope the car doesn't actually like overheat or anything, but it is exposed to overheating just because the car is literally exposed to 115 degree weather.
Yeah,
so it was bad. Yeah, I just never wanted to experience that again. I should have known better just to like leave early or something because that heat was just terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But hey, you were a trooper, man. You were a trooper.
But my July 4th weekend was memorable. I went to a Dodgers game for the very first time. That was fun. Go Dodgers. Congrats. This guy is just going to say, no Dodgers, boo.
No, man. Move on.
Oh, my God. Appreciate that the team that you have right now that you're cheering for is not going to even make the playoffs this year. I mean, my team, the A's, are not even making the playoffs this year.
Welcome to the death party, man.
I know you want to stay loyal, but A's are moving to Las Vegas, so I'm.
Oh God, I dread the day my brother becomes an A's fan himself. It's just like, really?
Yeah, he's switching sides. Good job.
No way. So it's gonna be 2-on-2, I guess. Me and Robert versus you today.
Yeah, probably might be the case here.
Oh man.
Well, then, yeah. No matter what, we've had our fun weekends. We didn't have a show until last week where we did our Loud House review, and I wanted to talk to my story about what happened on July 4th. It was a fun July 4th, but yeah, I did had some challenges going through that weekend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Either way, that was pretty much it for our catch up time. Let's actually go ahead and actually start the episode here. Let's actually talk about. Well, all the topics that we're going to be talking about this week. And let's actually start off with Inside Out 2. Now,
yes.
Inside Out 2 is the prequel, is the Pixar sequel to Inside Out 1. And as of right now, it actually has been officially, the highest grossing animated film as of recording?
Yes. It surpassed Frozen 2. It's just behind
Lion King.
That Lion King
But
remake.
like when it comes to animated films, I wouldn't say that's an animated film itself, the Lion King CGI.
It's argued to be animated technically.
Yeah, but
because they use motion in order to motion capture.
But
in order
people
to make
have
the film.
been like saying that it has surpassed being the #1 animated film. I thought Frozen 2 was the #1 animated film.
Seriously, I wish Inside Out 2 surpassed Lion King 2019, but we're not there yet. But we're getting there.
No, but Inside Out 2 surpassed in Frozen 2.
Inside Out 2 did surpass Frozen 2, so it's the second highest grossing
Yeah.
animated film of all time. Second.
Either way, Frozen 2. I'm sorry. Either way, Inside Out 2 has just become a box office success. It has hit $1 billion in the box office, which you never expect at a Pixar film before. Because if you've been recently seeing how Pixar has been doing, their movies have been like hit and misses.
Lackluster.
Lackluster to say. I mean, we could go through the history of it, but it's going to be a very long episode. But I just want to talk about Inside Out 2 for this episode right now. So how shocked were you the fact that it actually reached this high?
I'm just going to say this right now. Pixar definitely needed this feat. Disney needed this feat, especially seeing as how, mostly nowadays you see them sort of like losing money because of movies like Wish, for example, that ended up being a box
Really,
office
it was
flop.
a failure, especially when you're celebrating Disney's 100.
Yeah, so that's not a good sign. So after Wish, Disney was in deep trouble, but then they're back on top again because of this movie.
Inside Out 2, because here's the thing. Elio was supposed to be the movie that's supposed to come out this year, but they delayed it till next year. When they brought out Inside Out 2, I think that was a really good move for Pixar because people were familiar about Inside Out 2. I mean, it's not
Obvious.
because everyone knows about the emotions, but then it is true. When people grow up, they do get more emotions like anxiety, envy, and embarrassment and stuff. Yeah.
Inui,
Well, that's more of like
and
boredom. And to be fair,
embarrassment.
it's true. And it's true. Like those new four emotions actually make sense. to
Yeah,
have them there.
Because as you get older, you start feeling more complex emotions, and thus that's when more emotions come to arise.
So I didn't expect it to actually hit $1 billion. I was thinking it was going to be like, not like the hit of Frozen 2. I thought the movie was okay, like a 9 out of 10, not like a stellar 10 out of 10, like everyone is saying.
Like for me personally, as someone who has dealt with anxiety myself, like this movie really did hit me hard.
Well, I do like that whole like thing that they did. Again, I'm not going to spoil if you haven't watched the movie, but there was a big moment that happened in the movie that I think captures like what we always feel. And
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that they did that.
Yeah, and that's why I believe that even the sequel surpasses the original because it hits me more.
Interesting.
Be-
Really?
Because Inside Out 2 hits me more than the original did. Like, the original is a masterpiece, and it's definitely heavy hitting, but Inside Out 2, I can relate to personally because, of anxiety taking over my control panel during parts of my life, so yeah.
Yeah, but man, that whole thing about anxiety. I mean, if anything, it is relatable. Like, we all have anxiety. We all grew up with anxiety. And I think that was like one big thing that she was a great main character for and Inside Out 2.
Yeah, and that's what makes it one of Pixar's strongest films for me. That's what
I
makes
think
it.
it's just because it's more relatable, and the way that they kind of made the movie. I've heard of how I heard about how the behind the scenes was when it comes to Inside Out 2. They actually went to like teenagers who are growing up as well, and actually talk about their emotions and how they implemented it into the movie.
That's
which
really
I thought was
clever.
which I thought it was really clever for Pixar to do, to actually get some ideas on how to make the Inside Out 2.
That's what's really clever about Pixar. Like, they actually take their time to legitimately do the research before incorporating it into their film.
And it has helped, and it led up to a $1 billion movie. Again, like when I look back at like all the other Disney movies that have came out, pick Disney and Pixar, you're right. There have not been hits, which didn't make it to that mark. I would have to say Disney just went on a slide, and they really took a big risk actually when it comes to actually releasing Inside Out 2, because you're thinking like, oh, another sequel, oh, it's not gonna go well, but I think they did a really good job with it, because I have a feeling like they knew about how these sequels went. They kind of went the Toy Story route where the sequels did get better. So
Yeah, and here's the thing: is that I know that I know some people, well, most people are look at this and they think themselves like they're sick of the sequelitis and all this stuff. This didn't feel like a sequelitis at all. If anything, this is the best Pixar sequel we've gotten since Toy Story 3.
It is a sequel because it is pertaining to them growing up. I don't think it's like a new particular movie. I think it is a sequel.
No, but like you know how when you see a Pixar sequel like say Toy Story 5 or Cars 3, and then you get sick of the sequels coming out.
Yeah, but then again, like this is more of, well, if you look at the Toy Story sequels, they got better because Andy did grow up. 1, 2, and 3 Andy grew up. But when 4 hits, the girl was still young.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, we're just pretty much having another episode of Toy Story 4, huh? Or Toy Story 3.
And I feel Inside Out is the modern Toy Story in that we're actually begging for more Inside Out content because there's so much you could do with the main character growing up. Like Andy in Toy Story, Riley in Inside Out.
Yeah, Riley's about to go to high school, so I would imagine there's going to be an Inside Out 3. I don't know what other emotions she's going to grab, but I think there are like a couple more emotions to grab before, I think, stopping it, unless you want to make her as a good grown-up woman.
Yeah, I think that Inside Out 3 might have Riley as a young adult.
Yeah.
And then there comes even more emotions.
That's
Like stress.
Oh, that could be a good one, actually, to put up for 3 if they were going to make one. But at the moment right now, they have their lineup. They are making a 5 of Toy Story, by the way, so get ready for that.
I'm not ready.
You said we're talking about sequels. There's a sequel coming up for Toy Story, so there you go.
You see, unlike Inside Out 2, Toy Story 5 is one of those movies where it's just like, we didn't ask for this. We didn't even ask for Toy Story 4.
Yeah, we didn't ask for Toy Story 4, but look what happened to Toy Story 4. That was okay. It was okay. It wasn't like the box office disaster like Lightyear, for example. That was bad. But yes, let's actually talk about how the movie went. Omid, we saw it ourselves. Your thoughts on how this movie was?
Oh, like I said before, I absolutely adore this movie, and it is definitely, like I said before, it is the best Pixar sequel we've gotten since Toy Story 3, and it's definitely one of the best Pixar movies I've seen, based on how hard it hit me, and based on how anxiety has controlled, my panel at times. So this definitely feels relatable to me in a sense, especially the climax. The climax was like, yes, I felt it.
Yeah, I think when I look back into Inside Out, I don't know if it could say if it's better than Inside Out 1, but Inside Out 2 definitely is really up there. I have to say, after watching this film, this tells me that Pixar is back on its feet. Like, it's a start. It's a start for Pixar to actually get back to what they were before. Like, they make hit movies, so many hit movies, like back in the old 2000s, 2010s, that they need to go back to that. Like, it'd be awesome if they, I don't know if they want to keep on making sequels, but they got to go back to original ideas. I mean, Elio next year is going to look great, hopefully.
Cross your fingers for Elio.
But then they also are making Toy Story 5 and other things. But if anything, this is a good way to start it off, to tell you, like, we're changing our ways. And I hope they did change their ways, because Inside Out 2 definitely was a big hit for us.
Yeah, we have high hopes for Elio. Not so much Toy Story 5.
I mean, we're not going to continue moving on talking about the Pixar sequels, the Pixar stuff coming up. But if anything, what is your vision of Pixar look like now that Inside Out 2 was successful like this?
Now that Inside Out 2 is a $1 billion success, it's safe to say that Pixar is back to where it was financially, because they earned so much money from Inside Out 2. They have enough money now to invest in doing all kinds of animated feature films. They have enough money to hire new animators. They have enough money to pretty much do what they can to make the future of Pixar more innovative.
I think, yeah. If anything, I do have to say Pixar's on their feet. I think they're going to be doing great coming up in the future, to say. But yeah, Inside Out 2, yeah, undoubtedly was successful. But remember that Inside Out 2 is not done yet. They are making a series called, what is it? Was it Dream Productions? It's supposed to be like inside Riley's mind. I think this is like when Riley does dreams and stuff. This is where like the emotions of Riley come in to help out whatever Dream Productions is doing. There is a brand new series coming out on Disney Plus. They're currently working on it right now, looking into probably a 2025 release. We'll know more about that at D23, by the way. So
yes,
we're going to be doing that. We're going to be going there in 2 weeks.
So we're going to be the first to see a sneak peek of this series.
We don't know. We don't know. We only want to hear more information, not really see a sneak peek. Yeah. But what are your thoughts on it continuing on with a TV series like this?
I feel like this series could definitely be a spin on what one of those shows like, let's say like the One Hollywood show on Netflix, and also BoJack Horseman, Entourage, and all that stuff. Those, series that take place in Hollywood itself.
Yeah.
Dream Productions could be its own unique spin on that kind of story, where you have Riley's different emotions working on Dream Productions. They're hired as actors, actresses, and all that kind of stuff. Like, Dream Productions could really, use it as the premise. Like an actor wants to be part of Dream Productions, wants to act like in Riley's dreams, but then like big corporations, big Hollywood is like going up as taking over, and so this one actor takes a stand. This actually could set up for definitely some amazing Hollywood stories.
You said big like producers to ruin up dreams. That's gonna give nightmares. So I'm assuming those will be your villains. To say.
It could be, yeah. It could be like you have those Dream Productions CEOs, the big producers that want to make Riley's Nightmares because it sells more.
It kind of reminds me of Warner Brothers right now.
yeah. They're gonna have a David Zaslav villain here, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. I mean, I do like the idea. It's kind of like what they're doing with Monsters at Work. They're making like a spin-off series. It's supposed to be a sequel to Monsters 2 or Monsters Inc. Yeah, it's supposed to be a sequel to Monsters Inc. So with Inside Out 2 finally being done, this is going to be a spin-off series, or not a spin-off series, but it's more like a continuing series possibly for Inside Out 2. Which means that we're probably going to see more of anxiety, ennui, envy, and embarrassment there, which would be pretty cool. I mean, like, we're already starting to love them in Inside Out 2. I would love to see more content of them in Inside Out 2, Inside Out, like, things coming in the future. So maybe, yeah. I mean, this might be a hit. This might be a miss, but we've seen how animated series go when it comes to Disney and Pixar. Yeah. They're okay. They're not really like hitters. Like Monsters at Work was not bad. I actually did enjoy that.
Monsters at Work was a hit. Monsters at Work was definitely
I think it was okay.
Hit.
Just because it's supposed to be a sequel to Monsters Inc. and it shows like what happened after things happened in Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I have a feeling Dream Productions could be serviceable.
I think so. I have a feeling it's gonna be good for them. Remember, they have Win or Lose coming up soon this year.
Yeah, so we got to keep our eyes on that too.
Yeah, so there's so much stuff that Pixar is doing. If anything, Inside Out 2's success definitely is huge for them. And this means that there are probably going to be more projects that Pixar is going to announce. Who knows? D23 they might announce some more stuff at D23. We don't know yet. Yeah, but it keeps us all surprised.
I got my eyes peeled for whatever D23 is going to announce. So
indeed, yeah. If anything, this is a good start for Pixar, and we can't wait to see what more like greatness can happen for Pixar. Hopefully, we just hope it doesn't go in a dip like what happened in the last previous years.
Yeah, we don't want another Wish, do we?
That's Disney
animation. Like, we don't want another Lightyear, do we?
Yeah, forget Lightyear. That was terrible. It sucks because it's supposed to be the prequel to Toy Story itself.
I know. Look how that turned out,
Yeah, it was... Oh, God. I mean, I was so interested with it, and then I just saw the disappointing story. I was like, God damn.
Then again, Pixar is under Disney, so technically you do kind of put Wish in that category too. So,
but it's made by a different animated company. Pixar is an animated company.
It's made by a different animated company, but Disney still owns Pixar. But still, though, yeah, Lightyear's a much better example, regardless.
Yeah, can't really compare Wish to a disaster like Lightyear. If anything, Wish is a little better. Anyways, well, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here. All right, let's go on to our next subject here. Let's actually talk about something from Amazon Prime that's going to be coming out next month called Batman Cape Crusader. Amazon Prime Video recently released the trailer for this brand new animated series, Batman Cape Crusader. It looks very classic, don't you say? Don't you think?
This is pretty much, when you look at Batman Cape Crusader, the moment I saw the trailer, I thought to myself, this is definitely a modern Batman the Animated Series. Like, when you look at this, you think to yourself, yes, this is a return to form. Especially when you got the people involved with Batman the Animated Series, such as producer Bruce Timm, who is heavily involved in the series. You could tell that we're definitely going to get something really special.
Dude, I'm surprised the fact that, like, even if he was done with the animated series back in, like, the late 1990s, he's back to do it again in 2024. I'm like, dude, it's been 25 years already.
It's been 25 years, yeah.
Since, like, the animated series came out. And that was an amazing show if you watch it on Kids WB.
Yeah, it's definitely... Batman the Animated Series is one of the best 90s shows ever made. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, next to Pokemon. But I just remember, like, Kids WB always had that timeline of, like, Jackie Chan Adventures, Pokemon, and then Batman the Animated Series was there. But no, I mean, Batman the Animated Series was just a hit. I just remember watching, like, a couple of episodes of that, and it got me intrigued. And all that, it was just great. The overall first impressions when I first saw it, the animation style absolutely looks just like the animated series.
It really does.
I'm like, this looks weird. It looks so familiar. I'm like, am I back in the 90s or something? I know it's like very high def and all, but the character designs look just like the people from the 90s. Like, it's interesting. Like, it makes me have a nostalgia feel when you see how the animation style was for Cape Crusader.
Yeah, when you look at Batman the Cape Crusader, it looks like Batman the Animated Series, only it's much more it's more clean and more polished in comparison to Batman the Animated Series. Now, it's not Batman the Animated Series' fault at all. After all, it was a 90s cartoon, so of course it would look like that. It was a product of its time. Whereas when you look at Batman Cape Crusader, it looks like they took inspiration from Batman the Animated Series, only to make it as give it its own creative take on it and to really improve upon the animation style further.
Now, do you remember that this was about to be axed by Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
I wonder how you felt when it finally got picked up by Amazon.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Thank you so much, Amazon, for picking up this glorious series. Thank you for fixing what David Zaslav broke.
So when you first heard that it was about to get axed, to get picked up by Amazon, I think the one thing that jumps to mind is when it got axed, it won't be having that same fate. For example, Coyote vs. Acme. They've just been axing here and there just for tax write-offs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And this was it's interesting. This thing is I haven't been watching Batman, recent Batman, ever since. I only watched the latest Batman, which was the Robert Pattinson Batman. So I was thinking
And speaking of which, Matt Reeves is involved in this too.
Okay, but I'm just saying this Batman doesn't. I mean, it's interesting because I was thinking is this another Batman feature that doesn't really seem like a hit? But after watching that trailer, it kind of tells me we're going back to the animated series. All right, we're going back to the good old times. And when you look at the characters that were also in that that were also in that trailer, you're thinking we are going back to the animated series, are we? We saw Penguin, we saw Frozone, we saw Two-Face was also in it too.
Mr. Freeze. Mr.
Freeze, sorry. But I you know what? I don't know that well because of Batman. I don't know the comics, so I don't know.
So pretty much Batman Cape Crusader captures not just the animation style but also the dark, brooding atmosphere. It definitely captures the intense action of the OG animated series. It pretty much captures most things that you get from the 90s animated series. If you take a look at Harley Quinn, though, she looks different from how she was in the animated series because this Harley Quinn looks much more serious and much more threatening in comparison.
Isn't it better, though? Because I know that Harley Quinn back then, she was a psycho.
She was a goofy psycho sidekick to Joker in the animated series, and we love her for it. This one, however, decides to take a more different approach by making her legitimately threatening and scary.
Is there a Joker that was also in that trailer too? Because I don't know if I saw that. I don't think there was there a Joker even in Cape Crusader? Because I didn't see that in the trailer.
I'd have to go back and take a look at that. But needless to say, I remember seeing Catwoman there as well. Catwoman was there, and you do see a few new Batman villains there, but. And also, what's interesting, too, is that it takes place during a time where it's Bruce Wayne's earlier days of being Batman.
Oh, so it's even before the animated series.
It's before the animated series because the GCPD, this is during a time where the GCPD is pretty much all full, antagonistic towards Batman.
I remember that because I remember in that trailer they were saying who is this Batman person, or who he has this Slick Ride and stuff, and they're all spying on him instead of having Batman, who's the hero of the whole entire thing.
Yeah, they're all sus of him. Whereas some members of the GCPD, especially Commissioner Gordon, comes to embrace Batman, to love him as a hero. Well, while some of them are still not really warming up to him. Here, however, it's pretty much most, if not all, the GCPD that hates him.
Interesting. I mean, again, not really followed up when it comes to all the comic book stuff, but again, I remember watching the animated series. It still looks great. Besides Bruce Timm, who's working on this animated series, there are also other people that are well recognized, like J.J. Abrams, who created Batman Cape Crusader, and you may know him from Star Trek. You may know him from the latest Star Wars movies. So there's that. And there also was Matt Reeves, who was producer and director of the 2022 Batman. So you have so much, veterans that have worked on comic stuff, have worked on pretty much sci-fi movies here and there. How confident are you to see that these folks are going to be working behind the scenes when it comes to making this film, or making this series? and you think it's going to be a success?
Oh, the more I look into the cast, the more I look into this entire series alone, the more excited I am for it. Like, I am just super pumped for this because, like, I've been a long time fan of Batman. I've been watching, I've been consuming so much Batman media. Like, I've read some of the comics.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
I've read some of the comics. Like, Killing Joke is one of my favorite reads. And then I've been playing the Batman Arkham games. The Arkham series is one of my favorite games of all time. I've also been watching Batman animated series. And I've been watching a lot of Batman movies. And it's up to a point where one of them is my favorite movie of all time. The Dark Knight.
Of course, The Dark Knight. Everyone loves that
Yes.
one. Yeah, and also freaking Christopher Nolan made that too. So if anything, the freaking director of the year right now.
Like, it's not just my favorite superhero movie of all time. It's my favorite movie, period.
That's saying something though. It is pretty sick. I do love The Dark Knight as well, but I want to say at that level where it's actually that good to say, like in the number one spot right there. But
So yeah, all in all, I, of course, as a longtime Batman fan, as someone who loves the trailer, I'm absolutely stoked for this.
yeah,
How about you?
I definitely am stoked. Again, it just reminds me of how the animated series is. So yeah. There's an interesting note that you also want to bring up when it comes to this animated series. Remember that the voice Kevin Conroy, who was the voice of Batman for the animated series, has passed away, sadly.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. Now the new actor's name is called Diedrich Bader. He sounds kind of sounds just like Batman. I know it's a little bit different, but how do you feel about the new voice of Batman now?
Judith Baker, I feel, could be the next Kevin Conroy. I feel like he really does personify this threatening, intimidating presence while being somewhat compassionate at the same time. That version of Batman. I feel like he really does capture that Batman persona very well.
You know what? It's only a matter of time. He does have an intimidating voice that does sound like, Bruce Wayne or the Dark Knight and Batman and stuff. It's you know what? It's just too early to tell. It's coming out next week, but I have to watch it to see how this goes. So I say, let him do his best. I think he'll do a really good job. I understand Kevin Conroy was a legend, but it is what it is, and will do great with whoever is going to be the next Batman to say.
I feel like Kevin Conroy will look down on the series and he will feel great pride.
Yeah, well, I have to watch the series itself. Again, it comes out next week. We want to talk about the rest of the cast that's also coming out for Batman, Cape Crusader, including Christina Ricci, who was Catwoman, Jamie Chung as Harley Quinn, and there's also notable voice actors like John DiMaggio, Tom Kenny, McKenna Grace, Reed Scott, and a whole lot more. So, the cast list already kind of looks great. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's pretty surprising to see Tom Kenny being cast in this.
Who would he be? He's on a SpongeBob. He's probably gonna be like some sort of villain. I don't know. If he's gonna be like a very silly character, I don't know if he like. There's sometimes Tom Kenny actually does pull off some good roles here and there.
Yeah, like Tom Kenny is more of a he plays more of a goofy type character in wacky shows. Like it's really refreshing to see Tom Kenny expand his horizons and work on this dark, serious show.
He's been on a lot of other animated shows than SpongeBob, by the way. Yes, I think Tom Kenny knows that SpongeBob is his money role, but he has done other things. I mean, he's on KIF. He's on
Powerpuff Girls. He was the mayor.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many other things that he could do. It can't just be all about SpongeBob and everything. No, but I think he might be like kind of like thinking of like how he would like be so silly and stuff. Riddler kind of sounds like something that he would do.
Tom Kenny would pull off a good Riddler. I'm kind of wondering, like, what if they get? Okay, this is a bad joke, but what if they get Tom Kenny as a Joker?
Oh God, I don't know.
Oh God, yeah. Like Joke Bob Clown Pants.
Oh God. And you're gonna see all that fan art of Joker and SpongeBob now. Oh God, the crossovers are gonna be crazy. If anything, the cast looks great. They look like some veteran voice actors that are going to really help out with Batman Cape Crusader. So, yeah, I don't know what Warner Brothers was thinking about axing this series, but it looks to be pretty brilliant, and it looks to be a pretty good series for Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'm just to say this right now. Thank God that Amazon picked this up. It did not deserve to be robbed because of Warner Brothers' terrible decisions.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't get axed. Thankfully,
yeah.
I feel so bad again for Universe Acme, but we did a whole episode about that. You can watch that in the archives.
Release Coyote with exactly.
You're not Eric Bauza. Oh, did you recently hear what Eric Bauza was voicing?
Yes, I did hear what Eric Bauza is voicing. He is voicing a certain character from Fairly Odd.
Yes,
Fairly
that's
Odd.
right.
He's voicing Poof.
No, not Poof.
Perry.
You can't say Poof anymore, according to what they said. Poof
Perry.
is not a good name for.
He's voicing Perry. It's gonna be tough to get used to calling him Perry.
I can't wait
for.
I can't wait to do another review about Fairly Odd Parents. Now I'm actually getting interested in what the hell's going on with Fairly Odd Parents.
I still love that show. Hazel is Precious Bean, and yeah, this is definitely a refreshing take. I told you it was going to be a hit.
I know. I can't wait to put that video out again.
Yes.
Oh, Nate owes an apology.
And I can't wait to utter those 4 words I told you so. I'm going to be saying that on the entire podcast series. I told you so.
Yeah. Maybe we might actually do an episode of the Fairly Odd Parents because they have made so many changes now.
Oh, I'd be more than happy to.
Okay, we'll see. We'll do that in a later time. All right, next subject. Well, another franchise is coming back to the movie theaters. The All-Star has returned.
Ogre. It's not Ogre. Yes.
So, if you've been away from social media, there is a brand new announcement for Shrek. He is coming out with a brand new movie in 2026. So when you heard about this, how excited are you to hear that Shrek is not dead?
Yes, it has. So I just want to say this right now. That title, Shrek Forever After the Final Chapter, aged poorly. I'm saying this right now.
No. I was thinking 3 and 4 was bad. 1 and 2 were hits. When I saw 3 and 4, I'm like, where are we going with this?
Shrek 5, I'm at a point where I'm just like, it could go either way. It could be because Puss in Boots' Last Wish really did help, bring back my faith in the Shrek franchise. So because it turned out to be a really good hit, it got me curious to see more stories from a far, far away. Mm-hmm. So on the one hand, it could turn out great like Puss in Boots' Last Wish. On the other hand, it could be a cash grab like Shrek 3 and 4.
Oh, I just really hope not, because 3 and 4 were absolutely garbage movies.
Yeah.
Even 5 was a really garbage movie itself, so.
Shrek 5, I want to see them take a more inventive animated approach. I wanted them to go the Last Wish route in terms of their animation style.
Look, when you put up 4 as the final chapter, you're kind of thinking, oh god, they're really just going to end Shrek that way. And to be fair, we haven't heard Shrek for how many years? More than 10 years? 15 years, maybe?
Yes, it has resurrected. We've come back after over a decade.
Well, here's the thing. When Puss in Boots: The Last Wish came out, and FYI, Puss in Boots did make other movies too. They made the original Puss in Boots movie, which I thought was okay. Then they made The Last Wish, which was a huge hit. The animation style was absolutely amazing when it comes to that movie. But when you saw that ending for Puss in Boots, when they go to Far, Far Away, you're thinking, oh god, we are making a Shrek movie, are we?
Yeah, they were onto something. When I saw Puss in Boots: Last Wish, the first thing I thought was, oh, that they're making another movie. I didn't think they were going to make another movie. I thought it was more like, oh, it's an Easter egg. Look, it's Far, Far Away. It gave me those sort of thoughts. Not so much, oh, we're getting Shrek 5 immediately. I didn't really think of it that way.
No, I think of it. I either way. I mean, I still think this is going to be a big hit. I mean, the fact that when they ended the movie, was it Puss in Boots that way? It just makes you feel like, okay, we are hinting something about a Shrek movie, and lo and behold, you got the announcement. Yeah, I was thinking another Puss in Boots movie, but no. If anything, this whole Last Wish movie now just leads into Shrek 5, so.
Yeah, and it got me thinking, what do you think Shrek 5 is going to focus on? Do you think it's going to focus on Shrek's kids growing up? Or maybe it's going to focus on Shrek exploring another side of Far, Far Away? What do you think? What do you all think?
I mean, I got to be thinking more about that. I mean, who knows what the story is going to unfold, because it's going to take place after 4 when you said it was the final chapter. What more can they do after the final chapter?
Yeah. Watch. Shrek 5 might be Shrek 5, the final chapter, if you know what I mean.
Either way, the title is called Shrek 5, no matter what. Let's actually go back and see how the history of Shrek was, because I remember watching one long time ago, back in 2000s or something. I don't remember the year it came out, but Shrek 1 was okay, but I felt Shrek 2 was a whole lot better.
Oh, yeah. Shrek 2 is definitely my favorite movie of the Shrek franchise still. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish does come close, but Shrek 2 has a special place in my heart.
I think Shrek 2 definitely was better. I mean, there's so much like good things that were happening in that movie that made it so funny. Shrek and Fiona, both of them going back into humans was one thing as well, but they love to be ogres. When did they have kids again? Was it at 3?
They had kids at 4 ever after.
Okay.
I believe. It was Shrek. Shrek the Third was when Fiona had this baby shower, and I think
4 was when he had the babies.
4 was when he had the babies. Yeah.
I don't again recall. I know they have kids, so now we have to actually have the kids in 5. I think. Yeah.
Do you think it'll be Shrek's kids turning into teenagers?
Maybe.
Oh God,
No,
teenagers.
they're gonna be princes then in that case, right?
Could be.
Yeah, because Princess Fiona now they might be king and queen. You know.
Yeah. So they're in the royal marriage, lineup. Like they're in the family line.
Yeah. Something tells me they're gonna be king and queen. I think that's what 5 is gonna lead up to.
I want to see Shrek's kids be done differently, have different personalities and all that. I don't want it to be, have all the same personality.
No, I think they will probably put that role in there. Like have, but one will be like a really mean guy, one will be nice, one I don't know.
Yeah. I want to mention this. Like one because one of the ogre's kids' mom is the princess. Like that ogre kid definitely wants to be royalty. He wants to rule everything. And then the second one is the, well-meaning, sweet, innocent one. And then the third one is the one who is basically, the leader, take charge, kind of ogre kid. He tries to keep the other two in line. Like, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, I don't know when it comes to Shrek's family, but there's so much. I mean, either way, they have kids. It's Fiona and Shrek. I can't say much. I'll have to wait and see. We have 2 years to make predictions in this case.
2 more years. 2 more years.
How about? Well, I would imagine Puss in Boots coming back. Since he's going to faraway land, this kind of leads up to Puss in Boots and Shrek finally meeting again. So Puss in Boots with his partner Perrito, with his partner as well.
Kitty.
Yeah, Kitty. Both of them are probably going to be all in Shrek 5 too.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Kitty and Perrito again. Is that they were they were team friendship. All right, they were team friendship. Like they were quite a friendship trio.
How about Donkey and Dragon?
Oh yeah, Donkey and Dragon. Donkey. You obviously know that Donkey is going to be part of this because, well, he is secondary character to Shrek, well, along with Fiona, of course. But yeah, I definitely want to see how Donkey's kids also grow up and then they become.
God, so many kids now. Oh God,
they're all one big happy family.
I get it. But, now you have so many. Now it's weird how you're gonna write it all together. Like, have all families meet up with Donkey's family and Shrek's family. Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah. I also want to see the return of some of the characters from The Last Wish, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears were my favorite.
It'd be cool to do that, but they have been their own thing, like in Puss in Boots. I don't know if they want to. I don't know if it could be like recognized again in Shrek 5.
I'm hoping that they get returned in some way, shape, or form. Like maybe have their own spin-off because they were my favorite characters of Last Wish.
How about other characters in Shrek, like Pinocchio? Was it the three blind pigs, or the three blind mice?
Three blind mice. The three little pigs and the big bad wolf.
Yeah, I didn't want to see them again. See how they do.
Yeah. No, not the death of wolf. We're talking about the OG wolf, the big bad wolf. Yeah. The one who goes, what?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know what else to bring up. Any other characters that you want to see back in 5?
Let's see. Gingerbread Man. I think
Gingerbread Man. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
Who else?
I want to see Gingerbread Man have a wife.
Maybe, yeah. Did that lead up to something?
Have a gingerbread family or something like that.
Oh my god. Oh god, what are we doing with families? Why are you putting up more families now? I mean, to be fair, like the family aspect is really cool and all, but I would imagine it being hell in the writers' room. How are we gonna implement these guys? How are they gonna bond? Where are we gonna put these scenes? Yeah.
Yeah. So Shrek 5, it's still 2 years from now. So God knows how they're gonna. What kind of story they're going to write. But needless to say, we're very excited to see these characters after over a decade.
Oh, yeah. So if anything, please bring back those Shrek characters. They've been lovable in those beloved franchises of Shrek. So, yeah, can't wait to see them if they are going to be there in 2 years. The one thing that is also great about Shrek 5 is the fact that all the voice actors are coming back. We get to see Mike Myers as Shrek, Cameron Diaz as Fiona, and was it Eddie Murphy as Donkey. So with that, like, does that nostalgia feel come back? It's like, oh my god, they're all back. It just feels like what a Shrek movie is supposed to be.
I'm going to say this right now. No one could pull off these 3 characters better than the 3 actors mentioned. No one could pull it off better.
I don't think anybody else can. Like, how can you have like a good chemistry with Eddie Murphy being like the funny guy and like being the donkey? Like, he's just well known as Donkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Eddie Murphy did recently hint or tease at the idea of a donkey movie happening.
Oh, do you want to do that though?
No. No. Because, see, sequel spin-offs, movies and shows that star comic relief characters don't end so well.
Yeah, I don't think they should do that. Just keep it as a Shrek franchise. If you are going to do like a spin-off series, you already did well with Puss in Boots. Like, why don't you just continue on with the franchise with Puss in Boots in this case? It's kind of like what they doing with Illumination when you know you have the big Despicable Me franchise, but then you have the spin-offs like the Minions spin-offs.
Yeah, but then for some reason they decided to make a Despicable Me 4 before Minions 3, but I digress. Yeah, I would say this, instead of a donkey movie, make it Puss in Boots 3 because you have a whole set trilogy of Puss in Boots movies.
Well, there will be a Shrek 5, and there's going to be a Puss in Boots 3 if there's going to be a Puss in Boots 3.
Yeah, but speaking of which, I kind of wonder what the third Puss in Boots movie will be named.
Dude, stop. We're going to go down a rabbit hole of like predictions. Of, like, they don't even announce it yet. We're only going to do movies that get announced, not a 3 or anything. Don't make us go further into this.
Puss in Boots the third.
No, stop. He's not gonna be royalty. Stop. You've seen how that went with Shrek the Third. You seen how that went with Shrek the Third? No.
We never forget.
So yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like they're kind of doing like what Illumination is doing. Like you have Minions and Despicable Me merging into one movie, and then they make their 4, and then they're gonna split off again, where Minions will make their movie. And to be fair, I kind of care more about the Minions just because The Rise of Gru was not bad. I actually thought it was actually pretty clever for them to actually figure out how Gru became a villain.
Yeah, exactly. See, the Minions movies felt more necessary than the later Despicable Me movies because of the fact of how you got to see the evolution of Gru.
Right. But when it goes to Puss in Boots, it's a different story because it is Puss in Boots. Like, remember, like Puss in Boots did like get cut off when it comes to the Shrek movies. He does his own timeline, and then you get to see those first Puss in Boots movie, and then you get to see The Last Wish, and both of them were a good timeline. And I didn't know those movies would lead up to the new Shrek movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think also the other thing too is that fans wanted it back, right? Don't you want it back? I feels like the fans wanted it back.
Well, most fans, there are most fans that do want it back, but then there is a minority that thinks, okay, Shrek Forever After Final Chapter, you should stay as the final chapter. You don't need to keep milking it. I think it's kind of split, but it's mostly those that do want a Shrek 5 back.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the thing is that I was going to put the point out here. Sorry, it's getting too hot. That's why it's getting like crazy. Mm-hmm. What was it? What was the thought I was going to bring up? Crap, I lost it. I lost the train of thought there.
I don't worry about it. It's just but anyways, yeah. With Shrek 5, I definitely want to see them touch upon family themes because, well, like this is still the beginning of Shrek, Fiona, and their kids living their life in the swamp, and so I kind of want to see a coming of age story of some sorts, and developing Shrek's relationship with his kids.
Yeah, I remember back in when you went to Universal Studios, they still had the Shrek ride, the Shrek 3D ride, and that lasted for a while until it got closed down. Yeah. And I remember there were so many fans that still like Shrek, and plus like the memes of Shrek is still everywhere. Everyone memes Shrek like a lot.
Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
Oh God, not that freaking video. I hate don't get me to the cursed times of Shrek. Oh, it's Shrek. Oh, God damn. No.
I was only 9 years old.
You actually watched that video? No, get that out of here. No.
I've seen everything.
Oh my God. See, Sid, that tells you you're a huge fan of Shrek. If you actually went down that rabbit hole of memes that Shrek was in. I'm like, I'm assuming because of the whole social media outtake when it came to how Shrek was, that fans really want him back because of that.
No, I think, like the internet got the fans pleading for more Shrek. I think ever since Shrek became a huge internet meme lord, that's when they decided, okay, we want another Shrek 5. Let's go.
I think it was a matter.
He's an all-star.
Yeah, I think it was a matter of time, no matter what. So, with the fact that they announced Shrek 5, what makes you think? What is making you think that this is going to be successful for DreamWorks?
I think it's going to be based on the nostalgia factor. The nostalgia factor is definitely what's going to put butts in the seats. You're definitely going to see this gross, maybe not $1 billion, but more like in the high millions.
Probably in the high millions in this case. I wouldn't put the numbers out yet. I still say it's you know what? It's a beloved franchise. Everyone loves it back. DreamWorks has a lot on their plate now. You've got Kung Fu Panda, you've got The Bad Guys, Boss Baby, and other like well-known franchises from DreamWorks. But I feel like with bringing back Shrek, which was like the mainstay of your, like it was the main character that has brought DreamWorks into life, to say.
Yeah, Shrek has become the poster child of DreamWorks Animation.
And I think they deserve to have another movie again. So if anything, I think this was well needed. If anything, I know DreamWorks is doing really well with The Bad Guys and some other movie stuff. I know Kung Fu Pandas didn't do really well, but remember, they have other movies coming out like The Wild Robot. That's coming out this year, and it looks to be really good.
I am so stoked for Wild Robot because of the fact of how it's an original film, and it looks so inventive. Like, the animation art style is so stylized.
And if anything, this is going to help make DreamWorks like go back to like its good old times as well. So
yes,
Shrek 5. I mean, I'm excited for it. It is going to come out in 2 years, so if anything, everyone should be excited for that. So, yeah.
Shrek it's not ogre. It's not ogre.
Shrek is back, everybody. We can't wait for 2 more years. 2 more years.
Let's go, baby. Woo!
Okay. All right. Let's enough of the quick news that we have today. Let's actually talk about our main subject. Omi, do you remember this classic... Oh, sorry. Omi, do you remember this classic building that was over there in Burbank, California?
Yes, and my heart breaks just looking at it right now because look at the letters. Look at the letters.
Yes. So if you're in Burbank, California, and you know this beloved studio, yes, this is Cartoon Network Studios. Recently, it has been announced that the Cartoon Network Studios is no longer there anymore. This is the helm of pretty much all of our Cartoon Network's like hits that we've loved and stuff. This leads to a massive this whole thing that has been closed down leads to like a huge, massive panic over there in the animation industry. How shocked were you to hear the fact that this studio itself, this iconic studio in Burbank, just got shut down?
Oh, I was beyond shocked. I honestly didn't think that this would happen soon. Like, yes, I do acknowledge that Cartoon Network isn't as alive as it used to be, but come on, this is Cartoon Network Studios. This still breaks my heart, damn it.
I mean, you drive by that Burbank Boulevard and you see Cartoon Network Studios on your left, and you're like, oh man, this is the franchise that has pretty much brought our Cartoon Network shows to life. Like, what is it? Ed and Eddie, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab. You know, they're the ones that made those hit cartoons.
Yeah, and to see it turn out like this, it's just really sad because. There's like so many good shows that came out of this building alone. Like, this building is. Yeah, it's pretty much the landmark of Cartoon Network.
Do you remember like actually visiting that particular site? I remember you and I and our friend Jess, we visited it for like a minute or something before it got shut down.
I remember as we drove by, we saw the building itself. I might remember taking pictures of it as we were driving along the way.
Well, I mean, okay, it was on a Sunday, to be fair. It was not busy at all.
And I think we visited Nickelodeon Studios.
We did, yes, I know. No, we did. We did visit Cartoon Network as well. It was literally right across the freeway. Yeah, if you just know the big black building, like what's pictured right there, it's DIC over there. But that is now Cartoon Network. That was Cartoon Network too. They even had the logo that had CN on it. So
yeah, I do remember passing by this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I remember just taking some photos here and there. I remember like stopping by for a sec. Even on my trip down on July 4th, I tried to pass by the building, and that building doesn't have those letters anymore, which is absolutely sad. It did have a for sale sign, so I was thinking like, it's still being bought, huh? Yeah. I mean, it does break my heart, the fact that those letters are gone, that this building is abandoned, that everybody who has been in Cartoon Network Studios is now being moved to Warner Bros. Animation. Like, yeah, it's some history, man. This was like, back in the 90s when Cartoon Network used to be huge with all the things that they were airing and making over there. Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it's just, there's no other way to describe it. It's just, if you're an animation fan, especially as a Cartoon Network fan, this will break your heart.
So it turns out that this building will be sticking around, but it will now be called the Hollywood Production Center. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
It's a company that serves the entertainment community in SoCal. It delivered accommodations for office space, TV, film, and production and post-production. What are your thoughts about this new company coming into the building?
As heartbreaking as it is, like a company related to Hollywood, it does make the most sense for them to buy a building like this, considering the fact of how big the Hollywood entertainment industry is. So they need different kinds of platforms. They need different kinds of they need different kinds of venues in order to really make the Hollywood business and make the Hollywood entertainment industry as big as it is. But still, though, man, it's
not the same. It's not
the
the same.
It ain't the same. Yeah.
It's not the same like animators that are in that building. These are just people that are going to help with accommodating office space for TV, film. No, this doesn't seem the same way. Where's the animators that are literally in their offices writing the next cartoon, literally in their computers animating the next cartoon, going to the voice acting like studio, doing voice acting roles, production stuff like that. That's not the same. Absolutely not the same to me.
Yeah, it's just like when you look at this building, this is meant for animation. It's not meant for Hollywood furniture or anything.
It's not furniture. It's more towards giving
Hollywood office corporations.
It's giving jobs to TV film production, but it's not the same. It's not like the lively. I would imagine it being more livelier with more animators there, because they're kind of like kids. They have fun in there, just have a fun time with the offices. It's just not like this where it's like kind of feels more depressing to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't say much, but like if that becomes a brand new company, you're still missing the memories of Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah, I definitely I know that Cartoon Network isn't nearly as big as it used to be, but even so, though, you would think that they would at least keep the building.
I know, but again, we'll talk more about what happened to Cartoon Network afterwards. But anyways, I do want to give out some nostalgia for those that know about Cartoon Network. Do you remember this animation stairwell that Cartoon Network has in their studios? Now we can't be able to see it anymore because there's nobody in there anymore. But if you were animating in Cartoon Network studios, you would have your drawings pretty much be posted up here. Yeah, like for example, what was it? There's a lot of amazing drawings that are in there from all the famous artists, like for example Rebecca Sugar, J.J. Quintel, those that have worked on Cartoon Network shows. There is a website that you can be able to see the stairwell, and you can see all throughout it, like all the drawings that were drawn up in the stairwell. This is like history. This is something that animators would love to see. They will see their history past of how cartoons were made back in for example before they even went to Cartoon Network. Yeah, this is some sort of memory that is going to be wiped away because of the closure of the studios.
It's really sad, and this is something that shouldn't be wiped away at all. This is something that should be kept for the sake of respect.
Well, if anything, they did have those pictures, like I said. They have at least a photographic history of what the stairwell looks like now. But, man, let's say, for example, new Cartoon Network shows are going to be coming up, and they want to put their mark on, Cartoon Network Studios. They can't do that with this anymore.
Yeah, and whoever did the dragon, especially, if you look at the dragon and then he points the finger and says work, I'm like, whoever did the dragon, definitely was one of the...
Okay. What cartoon was that from? I don't know where that was from.
I don't know where that was from, but whoever did the dragon must be one of those, one of the very best of the Cartoon Network, industry, the Cartoon Network staff. It's
Indeed. Anyway, let me look up all the shows that were in Cartoon Network, because we're gonna go into the history of how Cartoon Network was and stuff. But yeah, I mean, again, we did put the website down in our description. If you want to see the history of the stairwell that have been lifted through Cartoon Network Studios, please check it out. It's awesome to see how some cartoons were made there, especially with those creators leaving their mark, that we grew up with. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if anything, it just sucks to see this go away. If I want to see it live, that's awesome. But if anything, it's great that they have a historic archive about it.
Yeah, and at least they kept the photos and everything. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, if we zoom in a little bit more, you get to see more cartoons here. There's a bunch of them out there. There's some characters down here. I don't know who that is. It's some sort of Sailor Moon character.
And I see a pig. There's a pig there.
Yeah, again, some history when it comes to that stairwell. All right, so yeah, let's actually talk about Cartoon Network as a whole right now, because Cartoon Network currently doesn't feel the same way. You don't have those hit shows like Regular Show, Powerpuff Girls, those ones that have like lifted up Cartoon Network. From the ways that the programming has been for Cartoon Network, what are your thoughts on how the future is looking for CN?
The future's looking pretty bleak for Cartoon Network itself. It isn't exactly the powerhouse that it used to be, because not only do you have not nearly as much of a library as you did back in the 90s and 2000s and early 2010s. Not only that, but most of the cartoons that you see that would be from Cartoon Network are in Max instead.
Yeah, it's weird how they are like transferring like some of the cartoons into Max. I remember like watching a Total Drama Island 2023 cartoon literally on CN, and then it doesn't air anymore after that. Like it'll only pop up like one time in the morning on Saturday, and then after that it just gets wiped off the schedule.
It's pretty much Warner Brothers Discovery's way of saying, hey, check these cartoons out on Max instead. Streaming services are the rage now. Forget cable, you know?
Although, to be fair, do you recall that Max have been like letting go some of their like well-known Cartoon Network shows?
Yeah. I'll never forget what they did to Close Enough.
Yeah, that one indeed. Oh my gosh.
It's not just some Cartoon Network shows that they let go off of Max. It's also their originals like Close Enough.
Okay, so if you actually go back to Max, do you even see like some of the hit classic shows anymore? Because I remember they did take some away, like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab. They're not on Max anymore, so where are you gonna watch them now?
Exactly. At least
Max, what are you doing? What is going on, Max?
Like and also Infinity Train. Like, let's not forget.
Okay, well that got cut like 4 seasons and stuff. I'm saying, if you look at like say for example you want to be nostalgic, look back at your old classic cartoons, right? Mm-hmm. They would all be on Max, like what they did with Nickelodeon. Like all the Nickelodeon classic shows are all on Paramount Plus. But if you go back to Max, there are some that are not there.
Exactly. Like granted you have Kids Next Door and all that stuff, but yeah, there are some particular ones that didn't make the cut or just got cut altogether.
No, they just got cut just because of like, was it Soslov or something? And either way, Max just did. Like, for example, if I want to watch Ed and Eddie, it may not be there. And I'm like, wait, that's a Cartoon Network show. That's supposed to be on Max or whatever the Cartoon Network provider streaming is.
For a streaming service called Max, when you're missing some particular Cartoon Network shows, it just doesn't feel like Max.
It's not Max at all.
It feels like minimum. Like, you might as well call Min or something like that.
I don't know. So I want to actually talk about the current program that's actually on Cartoon Network right now. From Cartoon Network Studios, they have Craig of the Creek and We Baby Bears, and that's the only 2 shows that they're airing. They're not airing like the nostalgic stuff. They don't air anything new. It's mostly just those 2 shows from Cartoon Network Studios.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that when it comes to variety of shows, like Max even fails at that. Like Max even fails to have a wide variety of Cartoon Network shows, even under their own library as well.
It's so insane how, like, look, we've got hit shows like Regular Show and like Steven Universe and Adventure Time, for example, yet you're not airing that. Like, I would be great to see like Adventure Time again, get that nostalgia feel, watch a Regular Show again, as a slice of life show. But no, we're just not getting that. Cartoon Network is just only showing those 2 shows. Craig of the Creek, don't get me wrong, it was a good show. We Baby Bears, it's more for kids. I'm like, why are we still airing this then?
Yeah, no, We Baby Bears, like I said, it's just another one of those, let's make them, little kids because it's cute sort of shows. Yeah. I'm just like, no, I'm over that.
They don't even put We Bear Bears. They're not even putting We Bear Bears on Cartoon Network. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? This doesn't make me want to go to the channel anymore.
And it's unfair to the consumer as well, considering the fact of how expensive the Max subscription is. So you got to live up to what the customer is paying for.
But they're not doing it. So
they're not doing it, which means it's more expensive than it deserves to be.
It's just absolutely hurts the fact that it'd be great. I don't know. People don't want to watch cable. I get it, but if you want to watch your nostalgia, then again, your nostalgia is on Adult Swim now because of the whole checkered past thing.
No, but you got to think about those that can't afford streaming services and can only rely on cable, at least for now.
No, I'm saying checkered past is on cable. It's on Adult Swim.
Okay, good. There's at least that. There's at least that. But that's the bare minimum.
But then
that's the bare
but
minimum.
that's not
though.
Cartoon Network. That's Adult Swim. Like, you're not even sharing like that on Adult Swim. So they're not even showing that on Cartoon Network, the regular channel, the regular network.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that even at that, like, that's the bare minimum that they can do. Yeah. They go to the bare minimum.
Like in Checkered Past, they at least air like some hit shows like Billy and Mandy. They have Ed and Eddie. They got I forgot some of the other hit shows that they also put up, but that's like back in the 90s, 2000s. What about like the 2010s cartoons like Powerpuff Girls? Dexter's Lab was in Checkered Past, if anything, so that's good. Courage Cowardly Dog was also in Checkered Past, but no, I mean like other cartoons that were like in that like dark area. For example, after Powerpuff Girls ended, what are the cartoons that happened after that? Foster for Imaginary Friends, Steven Universe, Adventure Time. I'm not seeing that a lot. Camp Lazlo. I'm not seeing a lot of that. So
like seriously, like I said before, like Checkered Past is just Checkered Past is nothing more than a way to pretty much do the bare minimum and only show like, just a few Cartoon Network shows there, and that's it. And they don't even do it at Cartoon Network itself. They do it in Adult Swim. So, like,
I mean, granted, the people who watched those shows back then are now adults. So
yeah,
there's that. I mean, if anything, it's so weird to say Adult Swim is doing a much better job than what Cartoon Network is doing right now.
it pretty much just means
you might as well just put it as well. We are seeing that trend too, because like if you noticed, Adult Swim is airing earlier than Cartoon Network. So after 5 o'clock, Checkered Past comes up. From 5 to 7 or something, you now see Adult Swim content, not Cartoon Network content, which means then what's the point of actually leaving Cartoon Network to its fullest? Because like Nickelodeon can at least stay up till 8. Cartoon Network can only live up till 5. So, but I don't know what's going on with the scheduling part, but Cartoon Network is kind of slowly dying with the fact that they're losing spots in their like network.
Yeah, and this is what I mean when I say Cartoon Network isn't as much of a power line as it used to be. Like, it's pretty much losing, I don't know, like it's losing its own power. Like a Cartoon Network isn't as much of a powerhouse as it used to be, and that's the problem.
It's not a powerhouse as it is, and it could be because of what's going on inside. Because, like I said before, the only thing that they're airing that is based off Cartoon Network Studios is Cricket the Cricket Wee Baby Bears.
Which isn't enough. It isn't
there
enough.
There should be more, but there's nothing new that's coming out of Cartoon Network Studios, or so we thought. We'll talk more about whatever Cartoon Network's going to be doing next. But they're also airing Warner Bros. Animation cartoons like Teen Titans Go and Tiny Toons University. Those are two good ones. I don't know, Teen Titans Go fans, you still have 8 seasons of Teen Titans Go. You're doing great. Tiny Toons University is still like a blast from the past because of all the nostalgia that you get.
University good, Go not so much.
No, I fuck Go.
Not so much.
That's more for the kids. I don't know. Teen Titans Go has their own thing. The movie was not bad, I would say. I still say it's... Yeah. Hannah Barbera Studios in Europe, they made The Amazing World of Gumball, and that's airing a lot in Cartoon Network. I think like Gumball is now their well-known name for Cartoon Network. Like every network has their well-known name, like Big City Greens with Cricket Green, like Big City Greens for Cartoon Network, South SquarePants for Nickelodeon. I feel like Gumball is that well-known name now for CN.
Yeah, Gumball definitely deserves to be like the mascot, the poster child of Cartoon Network.
Well, it's the only like cartoon series that has been living on. But yeah, it debuted in 2011. The last 2 shows I was talking about, Cricket the Creek and Wee Baby Bears, they debuted earliest 2018. So if anything, Gumball has lived up for Cartoon Network. It has just been there for Cartoon Network fans. So I think that's the only thing that's actually making it survive right now.
Not only that, but when you look at Gumball as a whole, like Gumball is definitely one of the most, diverse and, most well-rounded animated show in terms of using all kinds of animation from clay to 2D hand-drawn to even live action in some cases. Like they use all kinds of animation for all kinds of characters.
Yeah. If you look back at the Cartoonito lineup, they have like Bugs Bunny Builders and Bat Wheels. Look, they're for kids, they're for preschoolers, they're not for us. So you know what, kids, if you like that, you like that. But they're also like, and the other thing about the other thing about Cartoon Network, they're only airing like repeated shows. So they do air Adventure Time regular show in Summer Camp Island, for example. They air Looney Tunes show, the Tom and Jerry show, and Scooby Doo Guess Who. They air Jessica's Big Little World, and the Scooby Doo show. So, but look, we're bringing back old shows and putting it into Cartoon Network. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel right. Do you think?
Yeah, and when you look at most of these, you notice that they aren't even original IPs, but rather they're spin-offs of original shows. That's kind of the problem, is that when it comes to like that particular lineup, they're mostly either spin-offs or reboots of certain shows.
They're not really reboots. They're more like original ideas back in like the 2010s. So like, look, Scooby-Doo show. Look, Scooby-Doo show was very old, guys. That was the 70s. Like, wait a minute. We're bringing back nostalgia. You can have Me TV Tunes. You guys can watch it there. Well, I mean, I do give them credit, though. They are airing Adventure Time, Regular Show, and Summer Camp Island. Those are really good hit shows for Cartoon Network Studios. But, like, I'm missing something in that lineup right now. And that's, like, where's the new stuff? I'm not seeing... I keep on seeing Craig of the Creek. I'm seeing... what was it? I'm seeing We Baby Bears. But where's the new stuff? Why can't you be like Nickelodeon? Why can't you be like Nickelodeon and actually make, like, new shows like Rock, Paper, Scissors? Why can't you be like Disney TVA and make Primos? You don't have anything right now, Cartoon Network. What is happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, when Nickelodeon has more variety than you do, you know you're in deep trouble.
Yeah. So, like, what's your overall thoughts of the fact that, like, they haven't made, like, any cartoon since 2022 when Baby Bear started?
It makes me concerned for the future of Cartoon Network, because I grew up at Cartoon Network. I've been a longtime Cartoon Network fan, and I do want to see it come back in some way. I want to see it thrive and go back to the way it used to be. But the thing is that it's going to take a long time before it comes to that.
It's going to be a long road, especially with Zaflov is pretty much your CEO right now.
Yeah.
He's kind of like killing the channel, if you think about it.
Yeah, first thing you need to do, get rid of Zaslav and replace it with a new CEO. That's the first thing you need to do.
Yeah, look, the whole merger with Warner Bros. Discovery was a terrible idea, and you thought AT&T was bad, guys.
And it's even so bad up to a point where even Warner Brothers is sort of thinking about separating from Discovery. Like, it took now. Like, they realize now that's a bad idea. Too little, too late.
Too little, way too late. I mean, again, we could look back at the history of how WB just starts to, like, screw up everything. But, no, they really are killing the channel, and I really feel bad about it, because there are so many other things coming up for Cartoon Network that are, like, looking to be bright for CN. For example, like, Total Drama, they are bringing it back. They have brought it back. But the way they're airing it right now, it doesn't make it feel good. Because, like, they're only airing it for, like, once or twice a week, and then they put it to max. So it's like, you're not giving the channel a chance, guys.
Quote unquote max.
Yeah, they're not giving it a chance. Like, it doesn't help at all. It doesn't help.
Yeah, seriously, it's this is exactly what I mean when I say Cartoon Network is, suffering. The Cartoon Network is suffering right now because they're not pulling off good strategies to air their cartoons the proper way.
I don't know. I mean, again, it does look like a bleak schedule. This is the reason why I don't go to CN anymore. I mostly just go to Nickelodeon and Disney Channel now when it comes to, like, just random airtime.
Yeah, like, Disney Channel is the best of the three currently, but, like, yeah, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network.
Because Disney Channel keeps on airing Big City Greens and Haley's on it, thankfully, until next week.
I keep saying how Disney Channel has, much better variety than...
Well, then again, Nickelodeon has been airing SpongeBob a lot, so that's variety is kind of cut.
Nickelodeon's getting a bit better with Fairly Odd Parents and You Wish being a hit, and also Loud House still continuing, so Nickelodeon at least has those.
Well, they also do have Rock, Paper, Scissors, and FYI, they are making new episodes of it coming out soon, so if anything, thankfully, they are putting new episodes out on Nickelodeon, so there's that. But I do want to see Fairly Odd Parents and You Wish hit Paramount Plus, put it there, if anything.
Yes.
So now kind of ask the question, what is the future looking like for Cartoon Network? Well, there are some new shows that will be coming in for the network, like Ayandu Children of Wonder, that's coming out next year. We have heard the announcements over at CinemaCon that there's going to be an Adventure Time side quests, a new Adventure Time series coming out, a new regular show spinoff coming out. Go-Go Mystery Machine, which is a brand new, like, anime?
It's a Scooby-Doo anime.
Yeah, look, a Scooby-Doo anime. And then for the preschool side, you have the new Foster's Fun Time for Imaginary Friends, which include Blue. And you also have the Heyo Bimo show, which is also for preschoolers as well as an untitled Hannah Barbera throws a wobbler project. What the heck is no matter what, Cartoon Network's trying to do their best by adding more shows. When you hear that list of shows, what are your thoughts on CN as it moves forward to the future to say?
All I gotta say is I do wish them the best of luck with these projects, and I do hope that at some point down the line, because of these shows, it'll help Cartoon Network be inspired to create, more original ideas and all that stuff.
You only have 3 original ideas coming up next year. I mean, but then again, you're bringing it back from the old nostalgia days when you bring back Adventure Time, side quests, or a regular show spin-off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is that like even though most of them are technically spin-offs or side stories. Most of them are spin-offs of side stories, and there are at least like 3 original shows. And all I'm saying is I want to see Cartoon Network have more of a balance where you balance the original stories with the side quest stories.
I'm not okay with this, by the way. Like, where's the originality? Is Ayanu going to be your next original like Cartoon Network show that we're going to love a lot? I mean, you did it with Gumball, you did it with Steven Universe, you did it with Adventure Time, you did a regular show. And We Bare Bears. Where are those guys, Cartoon Network? Where is like the one hit that we're going to actually love again to make us go back to Cartoon Network? Because it's not looking great for CN. I mean, it just feels so bad, and I understand it's pretty much business meddling because of what is going on in the upper sections of Warner Brothers.
That's what it comes down to. I don't think we should put the blame on Cartoon Network, not so much as we put the blame on the higher ups of Warner Bros. Discovery. Yeah, it's all studio mandates.
Yes, and I really do feel bad for them because I feel like there would have been like amazing projects coming out from Cartoon Network if it wasn't for those like higher ups right now. Mm-hmm. Like Adventure Time, regular show, cool. Awesome that we're going to see spin-offs. I don't see the originality anymore. I don't see the next hit like Cartoon Network show that's going to thrive in CN. Mm-hmm. You're also acquiring cartoons is another thing too. You do it with Total Drama, and that has been doing okay. But you don't air it a lot on the network, which sucks. I think one show that I can't wait for that you're going to be bringing up to Cartoon Network is Totally Spies. Their new reboot of Totally Spies. I grew up watching that back when I was like in my teenage years. I remember loving like all the girls there. So this is a nostalgia feel that I would love to bring back. I know that the revival is not as great as the original series, but please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't fuck up Totally Spies for Cartoon Network.
When it comes to revivals, when it comes to sequel series, they tend to be hit or miss. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It really all depends on how things go. But I want to talk more about, Cartoon Network had their run-in when it comes to the social media intake. Do you remember the hashtag RIP Cartoon Network?
I do remember that, yes. It came, ever since the news came out about the Cartoon Network Studios building, there's been this hashtag going around saying, RIP Cartoon Network. Not only that, but there's also been posts talking about their favorite Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah, but this was more towards like what's going on with the Animation Guild right now, because they put hashtag RIP Cartoon Network, and then everybody started like putting up their like favorite memories of Cartoon Network shows. That kind of got me concerned, to be fair.
Yeah. So as you could tell, like pretty much recently, animation workers from all kinds of fields are, they're currently, not doing as well as, they used to, because of future concerns and about, layoffs and all that kind of stuff. It's just, the animation industry is, like kind of in deep trouble.
Well, no. So people kind of thought when they looked at the hashtag RIP Cartoon Network, they were thinking, "Oh my God, Cartoon Network's done."
Yeah, I think that's what happens. That it's sort of like this reactionary culture in which the minute you see something, you immediately react to it or respond to it.
But the Animation Guild actually said that this was our hashtag to at least give you guys memories of like Cartoon Network, how it is. I think the whole hashtag RIP Cartoon Network was a little bit confusing, but. Yeah, Cartoon Network. That was like, oh my God, Cartoon Network. It was supposed to be like paying homage to like what Cartoon Network shows we loved, not like say, oh my God, it's over for Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I think some people took it the wrong way.
Did you put a hashtag RIP Cartoon Network post or something on Twitter?
I did put up a hashtag RIP Cartoon Network post myself. I put down what my favorite Cartoon Network shows are. And I also put down how, like, even though, the Cartoon Network, Cartoon Network isn't dying, but it does sort of like raise concerns about how the animation industry is, doing right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's doing well, especially with the fact that, like, some folks from Cartoon Network are being really reassigned to like Warner Brothers Animation, if anything. Mm-hmm. Now I've told you about the shows. I've told you about what's happening in the future for Cartoon Network. Let's just think of it overall right now. What do you feel about Cartoon Network now? Do you feel like it's going to its deathbed? Do you think Warner Brothers Animation is going to take in Cartoon Network Studios and stuff? Like, what's the future look like for the beloved like network, Cartoon Network?
I don't think it's too late for Cartoon Network to go back to its roots, but it's going to take a long time for them to do so. Like Cartoon Network is not in a good position right now with all the strategies that they're doing, and it doesn't help that you know who is in charge of the entire company. But I do have a feeling that they could come back, but they're gonna have to make some major changes.
Yeah, if anything, it has to come from the higher up. Warner Brothers Animation, I mean, that's probably going to be ongoing. You've got them doing like so many things like DC stuff, like Looney Tunes stuff. That's Warner Brothers properties. Cartoon Network, again, where's the originality? I don't see much when it comes to like finding a good cartoon that could be that could pay a homage to what CN could do. What happened to Jellystone, for example? That was like back to your Hanna-Barbera shows, but that would be more for Hanna-Barbera in that case. Gumball, that was more towards Hanna-Barbera, if anything. No matter what, I mean, like, everything all reflects towards Warner Brothers. And even though Cartoon Network Studios is still a part of it, I feel like it's not doing well. Like, like your ideas for Cartoon Network Studios has been, like, going down the drain. I don't know if it actually means that we are going to see a rise in Cartoon Network again, like when it comes to originality of shows. Some shows that will actually do great, but it doesn't look bright. Like, you're thinking that Nickelodeon wasn't gonna look bright because there's all the SpongeBob stuff, but I think Cartoon Network has it worse. Yeah,
like we already discussed before how Nickelodeon suffers from variety. Even Nickelodeon has more variety than Cartoon Network does. So, so when even Nickelodeon has more variety, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and we think that, and we were thinking that Nickelodeon was like, I mean, I feel bad for Nickelodeon after we like kind of teased them about all the SpongeBob stuff. Now, when you look back at like how we've teased Nickelodeon and how bad Cartoon Network is right now, it's like in the Nickelodeon side, we're like, okay, stop the SpongeBob. But like in Cartoon Network side, I'm like, where's the stuff? Oh crap, I forgot you have a bad CEO that's running your company right now.
Yeah, so like I said before, I do feel bad for Cartoon Network itself being under bad management. That's what it comes down to, is that they're a victim of poor management.
Yeah. I really hope CN can actually thrive from this. Like, the network doesn't actually die or anything. It's weird to say that Adult Swim is doing so much better than Cartoon Network. It's crazy, right?
I know Adult Swim, and especially with My Adventures with Superman, for example.
I know.
And also Smiling Friends is another example.
I'm telling you, like, they're having good hit shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where is that? Well, that's Adult Swim. But where's that originality, Cartoon Network? Yeah, I got not much to say from this, actually, so.
Yeah, but from Adult Swim side of things, yeah, you're right. It's like judging from those two shows, even they're doing better.
Yeah. If anything, Cartoon Network, again, I can't really say much. I mean, they really need to get out of this hole, and hopefully things could go better for them. But, again, nothing much I could say.
Yeah, there's nothing much I could say either, except for, like I said before, even though it's not too late, it's gonna take some major changes for them to go back to what they used to be.
Yeah. No matter what, CN is still currently on all airing platforms, and all of its nostalgic shows are currently on Max, if it is on Max. So if you guys want to look back at like all the stuff that you like from Cartoon Network, and just go to the Max channel. Go to the Max app, and you'll be able to see it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for our episode of the Anination Podcast. Pretty short one today, but then again, I don't have much to say when it comes to this kind of topic.
I think we said all we need to say about this. We do wish Cartoon Network a bright future, if there's going to be a bright future.
I don't know right now. Right now, it doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, it's kind of a dim future from what looks of it.
Look, if Totally Spies does really good, then I might come back. Total Drama, I could just go to Max. There you go. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for our Anination Podcast episode. We'll be back next week for another new episode of the Anination Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. And if you're watching us on our YouTubes, make sure you like the video, subscribe to us, and also share amongst your friends about the podcast. We definitely love to talk about all things animation. And if you guys want us to like talk about something that you are interested in, let us know. But until then, that's pretty much it for our episode.
So we just want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting us, and we'll see you soon.
All right, see you guys on the next one. All right, I
Y'all have a good day.
hate doing this because the mouse is now over there to here. Again, you need to find a new mouse.
Big time.
Like, just buy a mouse.
I mean, I did have a red mouse somewhere, so.
Yeah, just buy a mouse and it'll be a whole lot better.